Good morning. Today is Monday, June 9th. This is Wake Up with KERA News, and I'm Andrew Garcia. Be on the lookout as you're driving around today for any debris that might have blown into the roadway following last night's severe thunderstorms. Rain and storms are expected to continue tonight into tomorrow morning as well. A new study finds men die more often than women from broken heart syndrome. We'll hear more about it after the news. Tarrant County deputies will no longer have to use their personal handguns on the job. Tarrant County commissioners approved last week the purchase of pistols so the sheriff's office can have an easier time hiring new recruits. The sheriff's office said it is normal for officers to use their personal handguns on the job. Texas Ballet Theater reached an agreement last week, becoming the first dance company to unionize in 40 years in North Texas. The contract includes annual raises, paid parental leave, and health and safety protections. A spokesperson said the agreement shows commitment to sustainability in the work environment. Not so good news for men in a new study of broken heart syndrome. It's a sudden or dramatic weakening of the heart brought on by emotional or physical stress. No one's quite sure why this happens, but it does more to women than men. However, the study found men die from broken heart syndrome at twice the rate of women. KERA's Sam Baker talked about this with Dr. Srinivas Gudametla, a cardiologist with Texas Health Fort Worth.
It is believed that in men, more physical stressors may be the trigger, or other illnesses such as they're having a stroke or some sort of other acute illness. And it's believed that that seems to be more the case in men than women, and they offer that as an explanation as to why they have a higher mortality rate in men.
Seems odd, though, because women are certainly susceptible to heart problems. And in fact, it's a major, cause of death for women?
It's the number one cause of death in women, actually. There are several proposed mechanisms as to why it is in men, including the fact that it's triggered more by physical activity or other acute illnesses in men as opposed to emotional stress in women. It is believed that men have less social support to help them manage stress, and that could also impact on their recovery, and that can also impact on their mortality.
There can also be serious complications from broken heart syndrome.
Complications from this condition, including what's called cardiogenic shock. When the heart is weakened, it's not able to generate enough of a strong enough heartbeat to maintain an adequate blood pressure. That occurred in a little over 6.5% of patients in this particular study population. A very common complication that we see with this condition is atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat caused by sort of a disorganized conduction in the top of the heart, which causes your heart to beat very irregularly. A small percentage have cardiac arrest, and congestive heart failure occurs in about a third of patients with this, and strokes occur in a little over 5% of patients with this condition.
Is there anything men can do to prevent the onset of broken heart syndrome?
Yes. I think the most important thing is lifestyle factors, and we have to be aware and taking steps to protect your heart. For instance, exercising regularly. We typically recommend 150 minutes a week of moderate intensity exercise, meaning that during the activity, you're getting a workout, but you're able to complete a sentence without having to stop to breathe. Also, it's important to practice mindfulness and relaxation. And even 5 minutes of mindfulness can lower blood pressure and perhaps improve cardiac function. Eat a heart-healthy diet. Focus on fruits and vegetables, lean proteins, whole grains, and healthy polyunsaturated fats such as olive oil and a handful of nuts a day. Also, try to avoid processed foods, excess sugar, and trans fats. Prioritize sleep. Aim for approximately 8 hours a night of quality sleep. And poor sleep does increase the level of stress hormones and certainly raises the risk of not only cardiovascular disease, but broken heart syndrome as well. Also, it's important to have a good social support system and spending time with loved ones, perhaps joining a community group, maybe talk to a therapist if needed, and identify and reduce chronic stressors from work, finances, and relationship, as well as engaging in hobbies and relaxations to counteract stress. So, really, several lifestyle choices are recommended in order to reduce the risk of this happening.
That was KERA Sam Bekah speaking with Dr. Srinivas Gudametla with Texas Health Fort Worth. The Texas Rangers won yesterday's game against the Washington Nationals 4-2. They'll next play the Twins and the White Sox later on this week. And the Dallas Wings unfortunately lost another blowout, 81-65, as Paige Bueckers still remains out with an illness. The Herd Museum is hosting their Ology Odyssey summer camp this week. Campers will learn about the different sciences that make up our world. Find more information, other camps, and more fun things to do on our Go See DFW calendar at kera.org/calendar. Thanks so much for listening to Wake Up with KERA News. I'm your host, Andrew Garcia. The show's produced and edited by Shardae White and Bekah Morr. For some more news in your inbox, visit kera.org/wakeup. That's where you can subscribe to the Wake Up with KERA News newsletter and get some good morning vibes from our colleague Catherine Hobbs. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at KERATX. Stay dry. We'll see you tomorrow.